What is going on with the LMP2 class of the WEC? Even though this category has provided some excellent racing through the years, it will be removed from the World Endurance Championship for 2024 and seemingly beyond. But why did this happen? What was the reasoning behind this category's removal? And will we ever see this class return to the full season of the WEC? Those questions and so much more will be answered in this video, as I break down the collapse of this LMP2 category. So the 2023 8 Hours of Bahrain was officially the last race for these generation of LMP2 cars in the full season of the WEC. For 2024, this endurance racing championship will just have two classes, the hypercar category and the all-new LMGT3 category. But of course, it's just those two categories in 2024. The LMP2 class is gone. Le Mans prototypes have been in endurance racing for decades. They were first introduced in the 90s after the fall of Group C. In fact, 1994 was the first year for cars to use the regulations of LMP2. The regulations of Le Mans Prototype 2, more commonly referred to as just LMP2, have changed throughout the years, but they are known for being a class for privateer teams to enter and compete at big events such as the 24 Hours of Le Mans. In the more recent times of LMP2, these cars were closed cockpits, and the teams were provided with a chassis, engine, electronics, and so on. At the 24 Hours of Le Mans, during the majority of the LMP2 era, this class was regarded as the secondary category to the LMP1 class, which was for big car manufacturers competing for overall victory, such as Audi, Peugeot, and Toyota. And even after the demise of LMP1, the LMP2 cars remained as the secondary category to hypercar. The fact is, the LMP2 regulations have provided some incredible action in endurance racing, and it's also a perfect way for smaller teams to enter and compete for victory. This is a good time to bring in the question, why? If LMP2 provided an opportunity for smaller teams to enter and gave excellent racing out on track, why would the WEC axe their category for 2024 and beyond? Well, the primary reason was because of the hypercar class, and here's why I think that. Okay, here is a list of all the teams that competed in the LMP2 class in 2023. Let's now bring in a hypothetical scenario that the LMP2 class was retained by the WEC for 2024. What would the competition look like? Well, certainly Prima wouldn't be there because they're in combination with Iron Lynx to run the Lamborghini SC63 in Hypercar and GTP. Vector Sport is also moving up to Hypercar to run Isotta Fraschini's LMH. Then there's Hertz Team Jota, who are planning to add on a second Porsche 963, so they likely would not be racing in LMP2. Alpine is also moving up to Hypercar to run the A424. They were just temporarily racing in LMP2 until their LMDH was ready. Then there's WRT. The Belgian squad is moving up to Hypercar to run BMW's M Hybrid V8. With all these teams moving up to Hypercar in 2024, this would leave only 3 entries on the grid. And that of course is just not enough entries. With the announcement of the collapse of LMP2 in the WEC, Inter-Europol have partnered with PR1 Matheson Motorsports for the IMSA LMP2 class, and then of course United Autosports has also moved over to that same IMSA category. The puzzle pieces are now connecting. The WEC had no choice but to remove the category. There was not enough competitors, as all of them have moved up to hypercar. It's also about grid size. The World Endurance Championship is expecting 37 to 38 cars for the full season, with 19 to 20 in hypercar and 18 scheduled for the LMGT3 class. So even if there were cars for the category, there would just be no room for the LMP2 cars in the WEC. It's a shame that they won't be on the grid for 2024, but it's a logical decision by the WEC. Ultimately, LMP2 has been overshadowed by Hypercar and LMGT3, and there just wasn't enough space and not enough competitors for the category to exist. While this is definitely unfortunate, it is not the end of LMP2 cars. The regulation will still exist within IMSA, the European Le Mans Series, the Asian Le Mans Series, and so on. The good news is, with more spots available on the 2024 Le Mans grid, this means we will see the LMP2 cars make an appearance at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So even though the category has been axed for the full season of the WEC, the LMP2 cars will still make an appearance at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Okay, I want to talk about the future. Will we ever see the return of the LMP2 category? There is a new set of LMP2 regulations coming in 2026, replacing the current generation of LMP2 cars. It's unclear if the WEC will reactivate the LMP2 category in 2026 or at a later year because of these new regulations. If the new LMP2 cars are a huge success, I do think the WEC would consider a return for this category. However, Hypercar is just getting bigger and better every year, and LMGT3 is expected to do the same. And with the WEC looking to add on another category in the form of the hydrogen class, I don't really see a place on the grid in the future for LMP2. The best option, at least for now, is the LMP2 cars racing at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So even though they're not racing the full season of the WEC, at least they're racing the main event of the championship. What do you think is next for LMP2? Will the WEC reactivate the championship, or are they focusing on different plans, such as Hypercar and LMGT3? As always, feel free to let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in endurance racing and you're not subscribed yet, I highly suggest you do so. I make content on WEC and IMSA every single week. And speaking of content, here are some videos you can watch right now. So thanks for watching, I'll see you all in the next video.